Welcome to the Spirit of Light Gardens. I'm going to dive right into some oracle cards that I already pulled. There was, earlier today when I was outside, a bird actually came up to the window of this room where I sit and do my readings, and just came up. It didn't fly into the window. It came up and tapped its beak, and I was like, okay, I know there's a message, but I have more things to get done today than I have time to do before the sun rises tomorrow. But this message needs to come out. So there's an urgency to it. And, okay, I'm going to start with the Shaman's Oracle. I just wanted to feel for what was coming through. The first card that came out, we have here, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. And it was just, the next card that came out with that is the lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. So whoever this reading is going to resonate for, there's a certain amount of, and we'll get into more cards, we'll do some more clarifying with the tarot and everything. So if it doesn't really hit right away, hang in there, fast forward if you need to. The sense of, and I'm trying to find the right words to communicate this, with this between two worlds and the lay of the land, there's a sense in this, and this will become a little bit clearer when I pull grab some of the tarot that I already pulled for you. Okay, hang in there, because there's a whole chunk of stuff that I got real fast when I was just trying to figure out a little bit about what was going to be in this message. With this straddling the two worlds, it's not necessarily, for some of you, yes, you are working with what you know, kind of in the metaphysical, astral, whatever you want to call it, spiritual, kind of elemental, non-elemental, I'm being corrected, the spiritual, non-science-based side of life, our soul's existence life, with what's going on this physical plane. That's where we talk about here getting the lay of the land and ancestral wisdom. So for you, for some people, there's an enormous amount of change that is going on in two folds. It is, with this card here, what's coming through with this ancestral wisdom, lay of the land, it is not just, looking back at our ancestors and historical and the wisdom passed through generations on that soul level, but it is also getting a lay of the land, because so much has changed in the physical landscape of, for me, I'm seeing country-wise. And it doesn't really matter what country you're in. I'm in the US, so I totally see this going on for pretty much anyone in here, but this is beyond American borders. So this is not even an American thing. It is just, it can be a neighborhood, and then I just getting a picture of a building being demolished where there used to be housing and it's not, and there's some kind of businesses that are taking over that particular area right now. So this is, widespread, various interpretations. I do have a dog who just walked in the room and may be leaving now. Okay, so she's not going to jump up right now. Cool. So it's the lay of the land. There's a change in your physical environment. For some of you, it may be, I'm not getting anything like house-wise where it's within your home. It could relate to where you work in a kind of a corporate environment, hearing banking environment. I do not give advice on any kind of finances, none of that stuff. Just read what the cards say and you decide what is right for you. So, but it's community area. It's like the town, the city, the neighborhood, the country you live in. There's some changes going on where you're trying to adapt to this new lay of the land, in the sense of even between countries, things are altering relations, and how that affects you personally, and with a spiritual side to that, where we're being called to ask ourselves from a spiritual side and from the non-earthly plane, how to navigate the earthly plane and the changes of the earthly plane. Okay, we're going to move on to what also helped me is I pulled from the Wisdom Oracle, and I got time to go and community. And this was like, I kind of was like, are we going somewhere? Does someone need to go? Is it a community that's going? This to me came across with the clarifiers of peace and round and round. And it seems like in some areas it just goes round and round. Like you can find no peace, and it's like, okay, I need to go find my own community to be able to relax and be with others who can calmly discuss things and situations. That's Julia you hear there. We're going to take a moment. I'm going to pause this just as well. Can you come up without me pausing? You want to come up? Don't make me have a long silent pause on here. Come on. Come on up. There you go. You did a good job, girl. All right. So yeah, joining with others that bring you comfort and support. And maybe that's hanging out with your pets more and learning a little bit about how they love. But that's the idea in this, is that, you know, going round and round with people that you cannot agree with and can't find middle ground with isn't helpful. And there is a need for peace. Okay? It doesn't mean shutting everything off and disconnecting yourself from everyone that there is. It's just understanding that you can take a break and spend time with your own community. And that by community, it could just be watching the videos that, you know, resonate with you on YouTube. It could mean even just, for some of you, finding, you know, like a tarot group, or if you're into the witchcraft, just finding others that you can explore both your spiritual, either specifically under the names of spirituality and tools of spirituality, or through an artistic group. Go to a poetry group, go to a writing group, go to a knitting group. You know, that may be a community you need. And what I'm hearing with that is that it may not seem of any kind of vital importance that you have a small group of people that you go and you, every Tuesday night, you sit and knit and sip some wine, or just chat nonsense, or share tips on how to do a different stitch or something. That may seem so completely meaningless in the times and the changes that you're going through, but it's vitally important, because that keeps you and your soul in harmony with others, especially if you're, you know, dealing with this round and round that gives you no peace in another situation. You need to carve out that space, even if it's once a week for an hour or two, where it's a community of people where there's just no friction that you need to deal with. And your whole being, not just spirit, but your mind, your body, your whole human being and spiritual being get to be at peace with others. All right. I did pull something from... This is a small deck. There is a little bit of nudity in this deck. That's why I have like this sort of knockoff version of the deck, because I had to paint some things on it. What I got with this, when I pulled it out, I had the Hierophant in reverse. And the clarifier to that is the Lovers in reverse. So my dog's gonna lick me, so I can't hurt. Can I like hold the card still? Can I hard? All right, so would love to hold these still. Let me see if I can do this one-handed here. This way, Munchkin here, my little Juliet. I call her Munchkin because she loves munching on treats. But with the Hierophant and the Lovers in reverse, for some of you, you may feel like the rules and regulations that are surrounding you, and in reverse, this is saying that there are some not for the highest good of all rules and regulations that may be appearing in your environment, and that's the best way I can put them. These rules and regulations that are not of highest good for all may have you feeling with this Lover's card that you have no choices. And this is where I ended up without pulling any more cards from that. So we are going to proceed from there. A bunch of important messages in that. I want to... The Lover's card just fell off the table. I actually just flicked it off the table. It's so strange. And the thing is, I put the Hierophant card upright, and the reversed Lover's card flew off the table. And I feel like in that there is a little bit of a message as one, some of you may need to decide what are the rules and regulations that are for the highest good of people. And then you will realize that there's choices you need to make to align yourself with ensuring that you are following what is for the highest good of all, and not necessarily handed down from an authority figure saying this is what everyone should be and do. Okay. What do I have down here? I've got the Eight of Wands card looking here at me. So I'm just going to hold the Eight of Wands card up. For some reason, I feel like the imagery is in there. And with the Knight of Cups, just basing off the imagery that's behind that, as you know, the person's riding the unicorn to the cup. There is a journey to find that cup that is your joy, and there is an emphasis on thinking for yourself and working with your guides, working with your intuition, and seeing what society standards are going to be for the highest good, and choosing to go forth with that which is for the highest good. And that is always going to be for your highest good also, because believe it or not, the highest good for all is the highest good for you. But it plays out differently in each life. So that's up for you to decide. That's not for me to tell. I want to clarify with the tarot here. Oh, shit. Okay, all of this went flying. Like the entire middle of the deck just flew all over the place. I'm going to pause this and show you what happened. All right, so I just wanted to show you what happened to the cards. They're everywhere. And there's more like sliding off of here. They all want to just slide off and get tossed away. I am looking at the Strength card in reverse. Confusion is way up here at the top, the 7, I believe that is. Yeah, that's the 7 of Cups over there. You're on your side as to whether or not what to choose, and is that choosing what your truth is, your Ace of Cups. There's a Tower in reverse there. Over here to the side, we do have the Eight of Cups walking away from this kind of mess. And I feel like this is sort of the world is on its side. It's just, there's a lot of things here hidden from you. So I feel like that's a representation. And then we've got like a whole bunch of stuff still left in the deck. And there's more shit to fall on the floor. We're throwing it down. This is not a normal way to read tarot, but, you know, and at the top of it was the left out in the cold as more shit comes. The Ten of Pentacles is on its side. What you're trying to grow is on its side. So I'm going to stop this and then we'll get back to the reading as a regular reading. But that felt like an important thing in the message here. Okay, that was almost like trying to read tea leaves down there. That was pretty weird, but that was actually part of the message. Now, when I took the cards that were still sitting on my little recliner here, and I looked at what was at the bottom of the deck, it was the Two of Cups upright, which is interesting because that Two of Cups was reversed in the beginning and fell on the floor. So there was something in that disastrous mess that fell on the floor that when I picked up the cards that remained on the arm of my chair here, this is what was at the bottom. It was the ability to make a choice. Eventually, after that chaotic spilling of everything, there is a clarity to make choice. I'm going to carefully put this away so we don't throw them a bit. That's a really interesting way. I mean, I think I might actually try doing some readings like that when I'm called to, at least, to just sort of see where the pieces fall. For some reason, I am being called to do, I think this is the Goddesses deck or some, I don't know what it is. It's one of the decks I have for fun because it's shiny. And I am distracted by all things shiny. I will try to give this some reverence because for some reason there's important, we're going to get a couple of these. The first one out here, please excuse my mispronunciations of these. I don't know how to pronounce this. Those of you who are more familiar with the various goddesses, please do, you know, put your 2 cents in the comments as to what meanings can come from this. Sekhmet, it says, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So, I'm drawn to the bottom of the deck where we do have Vesta, home. Your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants, which is surprisingly interesting to have that come out since I got no sense that this was in the home. So for someone, you may be decluttering is something. I don't know why I'm pulling from the bottom of the deck here. We do have Rihanna, Sorceress. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. Okay, and I tend to use the word manifest as in practical, on the ground, human steps. We have to put our spirit into what we're doing, but we also have to put practical plans in place in order to bring about things. So, okay, we're going to set that aside. Is there another? I know someone's offended at my use of the word manifest, but I find it's dangerously overused in the spiritual community. You can manifest $1 million home. No, manifestations, true manifestations are what we manifest in our spiritual and in our soul's peace. And they are the steps and actions we take. Any manifestation that we create not only should benefit us, but should help spread spirit and spirit's presence and goodness to others. So when we try to manifest certain things that are essentially selfish, people wonder why those manifestations don't come about. And it's because it's very difficult to get spirit, God, the goddesses, those who work for the highest good of all, to help you create something purely selfish. And that sounds like really harsh to say, And we all do. We all want to manifest it. You know, we want to get that job. We want to, you know, like, hey, yeah, I want my YouTube channel to work out. But you know what? If like 3 people watch each video and I'm gaining something within my spirit by doing this, I'm gaining a certain amount of peace in my life by doing this, and that makes me less likely to react with anger when something or someone frustrates me, then my manifestation is enormous. Even if like I only have like 3 people viewing my videos. So that is a success. That's a true kind of manifestation. The manifestation that makes you, I don't want to say a better person. It makes you a more compassionate person, a more I want to say self-centered, like literally self-centered, centered in your spiritual self rather than egotistical self. I'll pull a card. I'll move on. There was my soapbox. You're going to get it. You're going to get it in every video I make, because this is a little bit of me talking and a little bit of the cards, you know. Mavi, circles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. I hate to say, but I kind of feel like Spirit just said, yeah, yeah. And you're, you know, when you are honoring the manifestations that create more balance within you, rather than focusing on manifestations to create more material stability, you actually end up more stable. It is not to say money is a bad thing, and we all need it. And seriously, if you're about to have your electricity cut off because you can't pay the bill, there's nothing wrong in being like, hey, you know, God, Spirit, whatever, I need help so that I can financially be able to make myself physically survive. I'm not asking for help for that, because that is absolutely understandable to Spirit. We have Freya, bold, unleash the adventurous side, take risks, and become daring. And I'm just going to pull the bottom card here, which is Mott. Fairness is the key word. The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Okay, those were some messages. I really should put at the beginning of this, things will be time stamped, so if you ever want to fast forward and hop on to something else. We've got that. Okay, I am going to get to the Citadel towards the end, but I just grabbed the archetypes, so I'm going to pull from here. What is for the fight? I feel like I was saying, I wanted to say for the highest good of those involved, but it was Fahaya. I don't know if that's similar to a name of a goddess. It's something along those lines. I'm going to separate from the goddess deck and move on to here. We had the Judge come out. It came out in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck is the Storm. There is a sense of, there may be judgment that is, as we started with this, you know, maybe someone outside of you is judging things unfairly, and it is creating a storm in your life. Now, the other thing to look at is, okay, I have been corrected not to say, and I will tell you what I was not supposed to say. That is not the message. The message here is not to say that you're judging something and thinking it's a storm when it's not. Okay? But I was corrected to say you have the ability to find out, where is Spirit in the storm? Where is the lightning bolt of truth in that storm? and harness that energy. Not the chaos, but the bolt of truth from spirit that comes to you, and you know it in your intuitive self. It matches your deepest and most held beliefs of what it is to be good and kind to one another. Okay, is there anything else we need from here? I feel like that could be repetitious. We did have something come out here. We had 2 cards come out, and I'm putting the deck away here. We have the Crone and the Warrior. I feel like this is just more confirmation. It doesn't matter what your age is. You are always, or gender, everyone always has a crone part of themselves. You know, the maiden and the mother. So male or female, you have all of those energies all of the time. Now is the time to tap into that crone energy. The wisdom that you have when you sit in the stillness and in a calm place and just let the chatter be away from you, so that when you go into what seems like that storm, you are that lightning bolt of truth. They cannot sway you to believe in things that are harmful to you and others. That's important there. We're going to close that. All right, so we are going to... Do I need to do anything else? I know there's something in the Citadel. If anybody wants to hang out for that, please do. This card's just been looking at me. I don't know if you caught it. It is Joyful Muse Inspiration. So some of you really need to remember to find that. Maybe in music, maybe just let some of your frustrations out by listening to music. Maybe drown out the chaotic noise by taking a little break to listen to music and allow the rhythm to recenter you to your own natural rhythm within inside, and that will help you get closer to your own wisdom. Okay, we do have the Sailor card that came out. It's keywords. I'm just going to allow you to take what you want from these cards unless I get a specific message that I hear. New influences and wanderlust. And this is, I'm seeing you sail away from the storm into the sun. But there's something new that you have to find. And actually, I feel like that new thing is an old wisdom that you can find in your soul. Just really find in your soul there. That will guide you out of the storm. Is there something else that needs to come through for anyone who is here? Thank you. Okay, so we have the Runaway, and it talks about secrets and running away from problems. One thing to be advised is like that old saying, don't bury your head in the sand, which is probably like, well, it's about, well, I'm pretty sure that's like kind of, gotta look up the history of that one. That could have like some sort of racial background to it. I'm gonna check into that, see where that comes from. It just doesn't sound very appropriate for some reason. Running away, just tuning out. Now we were talking, yes, set aside earlier, like I talked about, set aside some time where you just have that community where you feel comfortable with. That does not mean tuning out everyone that doesn't agree with you or doesn't give you a state of peace. You know, if there's a storm, generally we would say, hey, you know, like if there's a tornado coming through, hunker down in the basement and take shelter, wait for the storm to pass. This is not the case. So whatever the storm is in your life, it's not one you can ignore. You do need moments where you can sit in stillness and peace and take shelter from the storm so that you can get in touch with yourself and spirit to know how to navigate your way through the storm. But like if we go back to this card here of the ship, Okay, say everybody on this ship just goes, oh my God, it's like a horrible storm. Let's all just hunker down under deck. Who's going to hold the sails? Who's going to make sure that, the ship's being steered so it doesn't get toppled over? You can't just completely, oh my God, I feel like such a bitch. Like, you can't just, like, I'm like, okay, that's how it's like, it's a very harsh kick in the butt that's coming through here. So, and by the way, I have a belief that, any messages that are for me to give are also for me to listen to and consider how they may apply to my own life. So if anything sounded harsh, okay, is there anything else? Because this feels like, I feel like we're done. One more card. Okay, and everything wants to fly out. We do have the Smith in reverse, and I was like, is there anything else? This overthinking card, taking action, I feel like this is just a card saying we're at the end of it all. All right, that's what I have for you. Yeah, if you liked any of this, hit the like button. If you want more of these weird rambly readings that I do, subscribe. If you hated it, please don't say that in the comments. I was so excited. Like, one of the only comments I got was like, you're so annoying. I was like, that's cool. Troll elsewhere, please. And I feel like some of you are like, can people just go troll elsewhere? But, yeah. I do these each day now in my own, obviously weird way. So, if you got anything out of it, maybe check back again. But thank you for hanging out and being in this space with me for a little bit. And I hope you gained something. And take care.